Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Shayana. Good evening, Varun. Good evening, Kalash. Good evening, Harshal. Good evening, good evening. Hi, Varun. Hi, Avi. Hi, Dharme. So, welcome back. So, we'll be looking at data interpretation today. We're going to solve a lot of DI sets, all the varieties, bar graph, line graph, pie chart, table based. Okay. And we're also going to discuss how much DI is important when it comes to MAH CET. So is the video all good? Are you guys able to hear me all fine? Yeah, good evening, Mayank. Good evening, Bhagyashri, Sakshi, Shubham, Surbhi, Pranit. Good evening, good evening. All good? Okay. So let's begin. So data interpretation in MAH CET. So there are 50 questions in quant, right? In quantitative ability, right? Out of 200 questions, out of which 15 to 20 are from DI. So it becomes a very important section, okay? And your DI is going to be good if your arithmetic is going to be good. Yeah, hi Ansari, hi Prasad. Okay, so if anybody wants to improve or do good in QA, you have to do good in DI. Okay, there is no other way around. And if you score well in DI, then only your QA score is going to increase. Okay, you have to practice a lot of questions. And how many questions do you need to solve actually correctly? So if you solve somewhere between 15 to 25 questions, that is 3 to 5 sets of DI for the next 10 to 15 days, you will get used to it. And you will be able to repeat that performance in your actual exam. Okay. Varun, we will discuss about the doubts right after the class. Okay, so whatever doubts you have, how much you are scoring, you know, the kind of palpitation you guys must be having, the tension, the fear, right? We are going to discuss about all of that at the end of the session. So let's quickly start with what is DI and what are different types we get. So DI, as the name suggests, it's data interpretation. So there are numbers given to you. Unless and until you don't know what that number is all about, that's a data for you. The moment it is told to you, you know, these numbers are about ages or maybe heights of people and you have to do some calculation in it, then accordingly you interpret them. Okay, so that's raw thing that you are given. So you have to interpret it. The methods to interpret them will depend how well versed you are with arithmetic. Okay, the different types of DI sets we'll be looking today will be the tables, the bar graph, line graph, pie chart, caselets, and we will see if we have mixed graphs. Okay, apart from these, you do also have other types of DI. For example, scatter diagram. You have got radar graph. Radar graph they look like those cobwebs, right? Concentric cobwebs, 5-sided figures or 6-sided or 8-sided figures. Okay, but MAH CET doesn't give you that level, so they don't go after scattered or you know, the radar graph. Reason being because they are very calculative. It takes a lot of time to understand and interpret them. Yeah, good evening Jayashri, good evening Tushar, good evening Maheshwari. Okay, so let's begin. So this is the information given for our table-based DI. So table chart is always the simplest one. Little difficult to calculate sometimes because a lot of data related ratios, percentages are not given to us, right? So the pros and cons part of table-based charts is that the pros part is a lot of numbers are already given to us. The cons part is some kind of calculations, average or percentage change requires a bit of calculation, right? So this section consists of questions based on data regarding common disciplines. So it may be regarding production of something, right? It may be about imports, exports, salary of employees, and so on and so forth. So number of students in a college. So in a table, data is arranged systematically in columns and rows. So what are columns? Those vertical lines are columns and the horizontal ones are called rows. I believe everybody is aware of that. Okay. The top row and the leftmost column, they denote what kind of data we are dealing with. Okay. So now some questions are specific types of data. Okay. So it can only be represented well in the case of a table. And sometimes some data will not be given to you. You will have to figure it out. So those are known as missing data tables, right? Missing data DIs. Okay. So in that also you have to first of all use logic in order to understand which cells are missing and how they are related. And once the logic is applied, you will be able to figure out as to what to put where. So we're going to look at missing data table as well today. Okay. So first 3 questions. This is the data related to the number of students in 5 colleges. As you can see, A, B, C, D, E. These colleges have 3 faculties, arts, science, and commerce. So pick a row, any random row, look at the columns and try to understand it. Don't rush to the question directly. So you have, let's say, college A, total students we have is 1040. Percentage of students who study science is 25%. So it's 25% of 1040. And from the leftover students, which is 75% of 1040, they are divided in the ratio 2:3 for arts and commerce. So once you understand for college A, you will have to repeat for the other remaining 4 colleges, right? So ek row pakdo, samajh lo, and then replicate it. Yeah, hi Priya, hi Salman, hi Manshi, hi Soni. Welcome everyone. So this is the first question. I'm going to give you guys 1.5 minutes at most because we have tons of questions to solve. So please go ahead. They're talking about another college F. The ratio of total number of students studying science, arts and commerce is 3:7:6. If the total number of students in college F is 28% more than that in college D, you know what college D total students are. Then what is the difference of number of students studying commerce and science in college F? So how are you going to solve it? What should be the equation or what should be the expression? How will you deal with it? Let's see. Hi Milan. Hi Nanekar. Quick. Don't use calculator. Please don't use it. Without calculator also you can solve very quickly. Trust me. It's very much possible. Excuse me. Varun, we will discuss that also. Don't worry. Hi Swagat, good evening. Hi Vishnu, welcome back. Hi Siddhi, hi Sharon, hi Sumit. Solve. Hi, hello, can wait. Krishna has answered. Dharmi has answered. Varun has answered. Shubham has answered. Salman, मैं बढ़िया, आप कैसे हो? Bhagyashree answered. Okay, so everybody has got B as the answer. Let's see if B is the answer. So it is given that F is 28% more than that in college D. So in college D, we have 1125 people, right? So in college F, we are going to have 28% more, which is 1.28 times, right? So this is the total number of students in college F right now. Out of these, we need to figure out the difference between the commerce and science, right? So what is the difference between commerce and science here? The difference between 3 and 6, that is 3 out of what is the total students that we see from this proportion? 3 plus 7 plus 6, which is going to be 16. So we have to solve this. Now, since we have none of these, so it becomes a little difficult, but as you guys would know that not all, a lot of questions have that option. So 1125 is in the table of which number? Right? 3 is in the table of which number? 1125 into 3 will be in the table of which number? So if you pay attention, then 1125 is a number in the table of 9 and 3 is in the table of course 3. And when you will multiply, your final answer should be in the table of 27. 9 into 3, 27. So 135 is in the table of 27, right? This is 27 into 5. 270 is 27 into 10. 320 is not in the table of 27. 240 is not in the table of 27. Now we need to figure out other things, right? So if you have 1.28, you have a 16, you have a 5. So you can say that, no, this is in the table of 5 as well. You will have a table of 2 as well. यानी final answer 27 के table में होना चाहिए, 2 के table में, 5 के table में. It should be in the table of all of these numbers, right? So the remaining two options, of course, we can go for B, but since the option is none of this, we will have to solve it. So it will take some time, but if you solve it, you will get 270. मेरे को पता है कि 27, 2 and 5 will give you 270, right? You may have maybe even double of that, but assuming none of these is not in the answer, I'll mark B and I'll move ahead. If I don't want to solve, नहीं तो पूरा solve करना पड़ेगा. भूषण 28% more को 1.28 भी लिखते हैं, ठीक है? If something is 28% more, instead of this, you can write 1.28 into. So 1.28 times is same as 28% more. This is known as multiplying factor, Bhushan. Okay. Next question. What is the approximate average number of students studying science in all the given colleges together? Thankfully, we have only 5 colleges to take care of. Otherwise, it would have become very complicated. Science is this column and this is the total number of students. So you have to calculate that percentage of total students plus next percentage of total students and eventually figure out the average, right? So divide it by 5. I'll go back to the previous question. I will explain how to solve it. Aishwarya, Soumya, I will explain. Hold on. Let's see who answers first. Shefali has answered A, 344. Shefali, calculator नहीं use कर रहे ना? Vishnu has answered B. Varun has answered A. Sneha has answered B. Bhagyashree has answered A. So there is between A and B, that's where people are struggling with. Alternatively, I'm getting AB, AB. And since it says approximate, maybe the answer is going to be in point. So if you get, let's say, 100.5, 100.6, so you're going to make it 101. If it turns out to be 100.4, you're going to make it 100. Right? If it is more than 5, you change it to the next integer. If it is less than 5, you go back to the previous integer. Okay, so let's calculate. 25% of 1040. What is 25%? 25% का मतलब होता है 1/4. So 1/4 of 1040 plus 30% of 820. 30% of 820 simply means 3 into 82. Because 820 is 0 and 30% ka that 30 ka 0 will cancel out this percentage, no? Two zeros will always take care of a percentage, okay, when they are multiplied. 36% of 1250. So this can be written as, I'm going to write this as 3.6 into 125. So what I have done is I have taken out 10. Percentage is what? By 100, no? So 10 cancels out. There is still 10. So I have made 36 as 3.6. I can also make it 36 into 12.5. Point kidhar bhi laga do ek, right? Next one is 48% of 1125. Now I really can't do anything about this because I don't have any zeros here, right? So I'm going to write this as 48% of 1125. And the last calculation is 12% of 1850. I'm going to write this as 1.2 into 185. 1850 ka gaya, and this percentage gets cancelled out. Okay. Now we need to add these values. So 1/4 of 1040. 1/4 matlab half ka half. So you're going to half 1040. Half of 10 is 5. Half of 40 is 20, right? So 520. 520 ka one more times half. So half of 500 is 250 and half of 20 is 10. So this will be 260. 3 into 82. 3 into 80 is 240. 3 into 2 is 6. So this will be 246. 125 into 3.6. So this is how I calculate. Can I write 125 as 25 into 5 into 3.6? Chalega? Now what is 3.6 into 5? 3.6 into 5 ka matlab ho gaya 36 ka half. 18. So this turns out to be 25 into 18. Now 25 into 18, how will I solve it? 4 25s gives you 100. So 18 25s will give you 450. So this is 450. Next is 48% of 1125. Now 48% of 1125 will become complicated or it will become easy depending upon how you are going to multiply. So I am going to break it down. I'm going to write 48 as, let's say, 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 3. 16 into 3, 48 hota hai na? And 1125 can be written as 9 into 125. That's what 1125 is. And I will divide it by 100. Now 125 ko I am going to write this as 5 into 5 into 5. So instead of making the higher calculations, I am breaking them down into smaller parts, which is known as prime factorization. So 1, 2 and 1, 5 is a 10. So ek 0 gaya. Another 2 and another 5 is a 10. एक और 0 गया. 1, 2 and a 5 is a 0. Then I am left with 9 into 3, 27. 27, एक और 2 बचा है. 27 into 2, 54. So this is 540. 48% of 1125 is 540. Some people might prefer 50% calculate करके 2% subtract कर देना. So it depends from person to person. I prefer breaking it down. That's how I'm going to solve the previous question as well. Okay. Next one is 1.2 into 185. 1.2 into 185 ko I'm going to write 12 into 10 into 185. 12 I'm going to write this as 2 into 2 into 3. 185 is 37 into 5. 185 ka double 370. 370 में से एक 2 हटा दो. 37 into 5 divided by 10. 2 and 5 is a 10, so ये 10 गया. 37 into 3 is 111. 111 into 2 is 222. So I have to add these numbers. Please remember, I will be calculating average at the last step. Abhi nahi kar raha main. So the units place if you add is going to give you 8, right? Tens place if you add, this is 10, 19, 21. You're left with 2. 2 plus 2, 4 plus 2, 6 plus 4, 10 plus 5, 15 plus 2, 17. 17, 18 by 5 karne ka hai because I need to calculate the average. Now, how do you divide a number by 5? Numerator ko double kar do. 17 ka double 34, 18 ka double 36. So 343.6 becomes your answer. The closest option is A, 344. So A is the answer and not B. Now I will go back to the previous question because few of you asked me how will we actually multiply it. So if I go back to the previous question, what I had to do was multiply 1125 into 1.28 into 3 by 16, right? So break it down, guys. For that, of course, your multiplication table should be quick. So 1125 is 9 into 125. 125 ko I'm going to write 5 into 5 into 5. 1.28 ko I'm going to write 128 by 100. Chalega? And into 3 by 16. Now 128 is in the powers of 2, hai na? And 16 is also in the powers of 2. So instead of writing 128, what if I would have written 128 as 2 to the power 7, जो कि 128 होता है, and 16 is 2 to the power 4. Now 2 to the power 4 will take care of 4 2's from the numerator. You are left with 2 cube. Now if you have 2 cube, as in 2 cube का मतलब क्या हो गया? 2 into 2 into 2. And you have 3 5s and 3 2's. Every 5 and 2 will give you a 0 when they multiply. So, ek 5, ek 2 will take care of 1 0 from the denominator. Another 5, another 2 will take care of the second 0. You are left with 9, 5, 1, 2 and a 3. 9 into 3 hota hai 27. 5 into 2 hota hai 10. So 270 becomes your answer. So I prefer breaking down the numbers into smaller parts and rearranging as per my choice because I'm not good with multiplying 1125 into 128. But I'm good with multiplying 2 into 5. I'm good with multiplying 3 and 20, 3 and 37, 9 and 3. छोटे-छोटे numbers multiply करने आसान होते हैं, right? So if you guys have understood what is going to happen, I mean, how can you quickly, answer it? So I'm going to give you one question. Let's see how many of you can solve it quickly. 15 into 16 into 25 into 35 की value कौन बता सकता है? Without using calculator, somebody. Anyone, but don't use calculator. Break down 15, prime factorize it. 16 को भी break down करो. Break down 25, break down 35, rearrange. You will get your answer very quick. सौम्या नहीं, आप 1125 into 128 करो और मैं करता हूं ब्रेक डाउन. आप देखते हैं कौन पहले करता है. 48 into 125 आपको लगता है आसान होगा? Rishikesh has answered. I don't know if that is correct. Are you guys really taking into account the number of zeros properly? I doubt. Zeros पे ध्यान नहीं दे रहे. You will get 0 for every pair of 2 and 5. How many 2's and how many 5's do you have? Those many zeros will be there at the end of the value. और जो बच गया उसको अलग से कर लो. How many zeros? 2 zeros, 3 zeros, 4 zeros, 5 zeros. How many zeros are going to be there? So far, I don't see anyone answering it correctly. किसी का नहीं आया अभी तक. Vishmayi has answered correctly. Prasad has answered correctly. Varun has answered correctly now. Now, when I mentioned it, now people are taking care of zeros. 15 is 3 into 5. 16 is 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. 4 times 2. 25 is 5 into 5. 35 is 5 into 7. So simply count the number of 2's and 5's here. So you have 4 2s and you have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 5s say 4 2s and 4 5 simply means put 4 zeros. You are done with this part of the calculation. You are just left with the number 3 and 7, which is 21. Usko aage lagane ka. So 4 zeros will be there, right? So this is helpful. See, breaking it down is helpful only when you see 2s and 5s, which happens to be there in the case of percentage ki questions. Nahin? When you don't have 2s and 5s, then you don't have really any other approach. But then such questions do not come generally in the exam. Right? Soumya, ab mere ko batana, can you do it quicker by multiplying 15 and 16 and then with that with 25 and that with 35? No. Nobody can do it faster than any other approach than this one. This is the fastest you can do. Saurabh, kuch bhi? Okay, let's move to the third question. What is the difference between the total number of students studying commerce and the total number of students studying arts in the colleges? Now, this is going to be calculative. Of course, you should be good with tables. This is calculative. So when I come across such questions, I need to decide. I know exactly what I need to do, right? But then I have to evaluate between, do I have enough time for this? Or is it better that I solve 2 questions in the same time that this question is going to take me? एक क्वेश्चन की जगह 2 बेटर है ना. Eventually I'm going to get, it's all about marks, right? I'm going to get more marks if I solve 2 questions instead of this. So sometimes we leave out such questions, even though more Maya mein फंस के people, because of the ego, people, they tend to solve such questions. They're like, ये तो करके रहेंगे. I'm going to complete this set. That's where you hit a wall. You have a speed break. So Soumya, my method is quicker only when you have 2s and 5s. But if I did not have 2s and 5s, what you said that we will have to multiply, वो करना पड़ेगा. I completely agree. But the kind of values that we were given, 1125 into 1.28 into 3 upon 16, right? That was the expression. Usme I will definitely prefer breaking it down. Okay. I'm not saying that my method is superior or your method is superior. No, it depends on the kind of expression given. So of course, you need to practice so that you can judge which method should we go for, right? I'm not going to skip. I have to anyway solve, right? So please go ahead, solve. Exam mein kar dena aap. Even I will do it. Right now we have all the time of the world. Rohan, no, of course. In the exam, I will prefer solving 2 simpler than this one. Definitely not going to solve this. And everyone, please have your dinner alongside. Okay. Don't quit this session and then go for dinner. Have the dinner alongside because this session is going to be around 2 hours. We have tons of sets to solve. हाँ वरुण, but calculator नहीं है ना. This is your calculator. Vismay has answered. Varun has answered. Okay, Swagat. That's good. Pavan Kumar, we really can't get rid of any of the options right now because we have no idea what we are going to do. Priya, we have 25 questions to solve. 25 questions means I believe there are 8 sets. 9 sets. So 9 set में लगेगा यार. 15 minutes per set लगेगा. If I discuss, tell you the shortcuts, tell you alternate approaches, इतना लगेगा. So please bear with me. हाँ इसमें you can take out percentage difference, you can use fractions, anything. हाँ Rajput, we will see when I will solve. I'm just waiting for options. I have got Bravo as in B, Charlie, C, Delta, D, Echo, E. Vicky ने Delta बोला है. Jay has also answered Delta. So your DI is going to be quick, Rajput, if your arithmetic is good, especially ratios and percentage. बहुत strong चाहिए. That helps you having a strong command over arithmetic. Quant भी हो जाता है, लगे हाथ DI भी हो जाता है. Aurora, can you wait until the end of the class? We will be discussing those questions at the end of the class. Okay, so for example, for college A, if I want to solve, what is the difference? So what is the difference? के लिए, first of all, I need to figure out what is the total number of arts and commerce students. If 25% of 1040 is science, so can I say 75% of 1040 will be for arts and commerce? अब ये जो arts and commerce है, इसमें what is the difference? The difference is 1, no? 2 and 3 का difference is 1, right? And which one is larger? If you pay a little attention, you will find that the commerce students are always larger, thankfully. So we don't have to deal with when this is larger, when this is larger. So we can straight away take commerce is the higher value. So 3 minus 2, commerce minus arts. Acha, nahi, this one is a smaller here. Okay, so we will have to subtract that. Because 5 minus 9 will become minus 4, no? So this is 1 out of how many people? 5. So this will give us the value of the difference between the arts and commerce students who study in college A. Similarly, if I want to figure out what will be the number of students who study in college B, the arts and commerce. So can I say 30% goes to science? So 70% of 820 हो गया. ये commerce and arts को together it will go. Out of this 820, 5 minus 9 is minus 4 and 9 plus 5 is 14. So minus 4 by 14, if you solve this, this will give you the difference. This is how you use ratios, right? For college C, 36% goes to science. So the remaining 64% of 1250, this will go to arts and college. 9 minus 7 is 2 out of 9 plus 7, which is 16. So this will go to the difference between commerce and arts. So difference मैं इधर ही कर लूंगा ना. Why will I waste my time to calculate how many students are there in arts, how many students are there in commerce? फिर minus करो. I will subtract with those smaller values and then multiply it with the total students in arts and commerce. अपने आप difference हो जाएगा, right? If I want to solve for college D, 48% goes to science. So the remaining 52% will go to arts and commerce. So 52% of 1125 into 7 minus 6 is 1 divided by 7 plus 6 is 13. और ये हो जाएगा. If you guys are paying attention, you will see that the denominators of the fraction that we are getting, that are going to cancel those percentages that we have written. Obvious सी बात है ना. Point में you can't have people. है ना? If I solve for E, I will be saying 12% goes to science. So remaining 88% goes to arts and commerce. 88% of 1250. 8 minus 3 is 5 and 8 plus 3 is 11. ये चार calculations करने. Is it difficult? Not really. Right? It is difficult, but वो difficult नहीं है कि नहीं होगा. दो difficulty होता है ना. एक पसीने छूट जाएंगे. And the other difficulty is I can't move it. It's like a wall that I have hit. right? So it's not a wall. It's doable, time consuming, right? So if you solve it, you are going to get 877. I'm not solving the exact values. Please go ahead and solve it. So I hope it simplified. The calculation got simplified to a lot extent, right? 14 and 70 is 5 times, 5 and 15 is 75, 16 and 4 is 64, 13 and 4 is 52, 11 and 8 is 88. गायब हो गए ना वो percentages वाले. Denominator also vanished. Acha, sorry, 1850. Okay, thank you for pointing that out. 1850. My bad. I made the mistake. It should be 1850. Okay, chalo, next set. हाँ, diluted gaming लगेगा. It will take quite some time. Okay, we'll come back to this set later on. Okay. We will be doing one set of each type. We saw table based, right? We will be doing one of bar graph. So how many types of bar graphs do we have? So you have got a simple bar graph. Simple bar graph कैसा दिखता है? You have x axis, y axis, and you have bars over there. ऐसे buildings will be there. What are multiple bar graphs? So for every particular year, you are going to have 2 or more than 2 bars. So this is known as multiple bar graph. What is compounded bar graph? The same multiple gets stacked one over the other. तो एक ये बनेगा, इसके ऊपर ये बनेगा. Then you will have this, then you will have this. Then you will have this, you will have this. So this is known as compound. Compound means one over the other, right? एक के ऊपर एक, one after another. What is percent bar graph? Percent bar graph में y axis is always 100%. So everything is counted from 100%. Horizontal bar graphs. What are horizontal bar graphs? Horizontal bar graphs are just the other way to represent those vertical bar graphs. They are going to be like this. So all you need to do is change the axis. Floating bar graphs are sometimes represented for things like when it is based on timeline questions. So for, let's say, particular time, this was the bar. For the next one, this was the bar. For the next one, this was the bar. For the next one, this was the bar. So it's not always that every bar will lie on the y-axis or the x-axis, right? Some of the bars are going to be very far. Sometimes they will start from the end of one bar. Sometimes it will start from the middle. Generally, timeline-based questions are based on floating bar graphs. पर ऐसे questions मैंने नहीं देखे आज तक MAH CET में. Pranjal, you will have to solve it, unfortunately. वो पूरा solve करो ना, Pranjal. Okay, let's look at this. So since you have two bar graphs, so this is a multiple bar graph. Okay, so the bar graph given below shows the number of cars manufactured in thousands and the respective percentage of those cars sold by 5 different companies in 2017. So definitely look at the legend. Legend mein blue color is about the number of cars in thousand. So Toyota, it sold 60,000 cars, and what is the percentage of cars sold by Toyota? This is 72%. Okay, and the respective percentage of those cars sold by 5 different companies in 2017. So the red one shows the percentage of cars sold. Okay, so what would be the answer for this? So blue wala manufactured. Please understand, if you are going to manufacture, let's say pens, if you manufacture 1,000 of them, you are a business person. Do you think all 1,000 will be sold? Nahi na. वही चीज इधर है. If Toyota manufactured 60,000 cars, do you think all 60,000 cars got sold? No. 72% of 60,000 got sold. That's what the bar graph is all about. Each pair for each of the 5 companies, right? Ha, Gaurav, they are very rare, but if you Google it, if you search it online, you will find what floating bar graphs are. चलिए डालो floating bar graph example. You will see some questions. If you read it, they are very easy to understand. They are very easy to solve. They're not complicated. As in, you will not have tons of calculations involved. बहुत plain simple होता है. So a lot of, thank you, M. Arora. So a lot of you are answering D. I mean, everyone has answered D so far. Okay. So let's see if D is the answer or not. What is the difference between the cars sold by Maruti? So we will go to Maruti and cars sold by Mahindra in 2017. So Maruti is going to be 58% of 90 and Mahindra is going to be 67% of 70. Sorry, I should be writing it a little more above because I know I'm visible to a certain extent, right? So it's going to be 58% of 90 minus 67% of 70. अपन को ये calculate करना, right? Now, I'm not worried about percentages. I'm not worried about the zeros at the end of 90, 70. What I'm trying is, I'm going to look at the sequence of digits. Okay? So what I'm trying to say is, बाद में आप लोग पूछो, मैं पहले ही बता दे रहा हूं. If you are given 12 into 3, or whether you are given 120 into 300, or whether you are given 1.2 into 0.03, I'm saying I'm not worried about how many zeros I'm going to have. I'm only worried about कि 36 दिखेगा. Whether it is going to be 3.6, 0.036, 0.0036 or 36,000, I don't care. 12 into 3, 36 होता है, मेरे को 36 दिखना चाहिए. Right? Because in the options you don't have cases like 53, 530, 5300 जहां पे जीरो पे भी ध्यान दो जबरदस्ती. क्यों करें? So I'm only worried about the sequence of the digits. Okay, that's what I meant. Sequence of the digits. Zeros is not my concern. So 58 into 9. 58 into 9 ko I'm going to write this as 58 into 10 minus 1, which is going to be 580 minus 58, which is going to give me 522. Ek value. 67 into 7, I'm going to write this as 67 into 5 plus 2. मेरे को 67 into 5 आता है. कैसे करते हैं किसी भी नंबर को? हाउ डू यू मल्टीप्लाई इट बाय 5? आई बिलीव एवरीबडी शुड बी knowing this already. Suppose if somebody asks you what is 1, I'll take a simpler number to explain you. If somebody asks you what is 143 into 5, तो आप क्या करते हो ना, 143 के बाद 0 लगा के you half it. So multiplying a number by 5 is same as appending a 0. Last में 0 ऐसे लगा देना and halving it. Halving means dividing it by 2. Now it is very easy to divide by 2. 14 ka half is 7, 30 ka half is 15. So I get my answer 143 into 5. So 5 se aise I multiply. So the moment I see 67 into 5, I am thinking 670 ka half. 6 ka half 3, 70 ka half 35. Plus 67 ka double. Not a difficult task. 60 ka double, 7 ka double, which is going to give you 134. If I add this, this is going to give me 469. Now I need to subtract. Now when I'm going to subtract, what is the last digit? ये बता दो बस. Just the last digit. Two वाला number में से if you subtract a 9 वाला number, what do you think the last digit is going to be? 3. Which option has a 3? D. That's my answer. This is going to be 5300 if I multiply the value with thousands. Yeah. Right? So using common sense, because I hate maths, I'm scared of maths, I'm scared of huge calculations, so I will use common sense. Last digit, 5 into 2, multiplying a number by 5, halving it, and so on and so forth. ठीक है. Next question. What is the ratio of the number of Toyota cars that remained unsold in 2017 to the number of Honda cars that remained unsold in 2017? So the data is about 2017. सौम्य इतना डरोगे तो नहीं चलेगा काम. Because if I have a none of these out of 25 questions in DI, अगर दो क्वेश्चन में none of the above है या none of these है, because of those two questions, if I force myself to always get the perfect value so that my options match, I will lose a lot of time. And I will never be confident and quick, and accuracy will be screwed up. आपको क्या लगता है, आप 10 में से 10 क्वेश्चन करते हो, 10 सही हो जाते हैं? नहीं होते ना. If I'm going to make mistakes anyways, let those be the mistakes. So none of the above, none of the given, none of these को हमेशा ignore कर दो. Assume that that is not the option. हाँ, unless and until the calculation is pretty easy. Previous वाले में 53 लाना मुश्किल काम नहीं था, right? डरना नहीं है. So people are answering. Krishna has a doubt. Does the actual values are written on each bar in exam because it is difficult to guess it correct because not multiple of 10? So Krishna, those are two types of bar graphs. Good that you pointed it out. So no, Krishna, it is not given all the time. But if you have a question like this, the one you are seeing on the screen right now, ये अगर 72 नहीं लिखा होता, so nobody can guess whether it is 71, 71.2, 71.5, 71.9, 72, right? So nobody would be able to solve it precisely. So they will give you the values above the bar or on the bar if they really want the exact values. But in some questions, it really will never matter कि कितना percentage है. नहीं मैटर करने वाला. ठीक है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ आई आस्क यू टोयोटा सोल्ड मोर कार्स देन मारुति और मारुति सोल्ड मोर कार्स देन टोयोटा, है ना? सो व्हाट यू आर गोइंग टू डू इज यू विल बी लाइक, अरे मेरे को परसेंटेज ही नहीं पता, हाउ विल आई एम गोइंग टू डू इट? सो आपको केवल ये करना है, काउंट द नंबर ऑफ हाइट्स 1 2 3 4 5. सो दिस इज 5, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 point something. 7 point something में it's not 7.5, this is 7.5 से कम, 7 to 7.5 के बीच है ये टोटल हाइट. मारुति का काउंट करते हैं, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, 1 2 3 4 5 point something. Now when you multiply 5 and 7 point something, I'm going to use a black color so that it's visible. And if I multiply 9 and 5 point something, doesn't matter 7.1 ho ya 7.2 ya 7.5. Don't you think Maruti sold more cars? Because you are anyways going to calculate percentage into the total production. So if they want you to solve something like this, they will never give you the values. So you have to understand, if the value is not given, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता if you take it as 0.1 or 0.2 or 0.5. Normally you always jump by integral values of percentage or things. पवन कुमार, the entire data is about 2017. आप लेट ज्वाइन किए हो, पहले ही लिखा हुआ था. So Krishna, I hope this was clear. You understood this, right? Okay, good. Yeah, so people are confused between option A and option B. So what is the ratio of number of Toyota cars that remained unsold? So 72% were sold. So how many were unsold? Unsold की बात कर रहे हैं ये. So can I say 28% of 60,000? I'm not going to write zeros. Zeros क्या ही करता, कुछ नहीं, कट जाता है. And the number of Honda cars that remained unsold, Honda cars, 65% were sold. So can I say the complement 35% remained, 35% of 75 remained unsold. So I have to figure out the ratio of this. So the very first thing that cancels out is percentage. The next thing that cancels out is 7 because it's there in both. 60 and 75, they both are in the table of 15. This is 15 into 4. This is 15 into 5. You can't cancel out anything. I believe everybody knows of means multiplication, right? 4 into 4, 16. 5 into 5, 25. 16 is to 25 is the answer. Okay? Unsold tha. I believe you guys did sold ya kuch aur. Okay, next question. Option B is the square of it, but उन्होंने square नहीं पूछा है ना diluted. They have asked you the exact value. Had they asked you what is the square root of the ratio, तब आप 16/25 square root करते, you would have got 4:5. है ना? Why is it A? The question is what is the ratio of the number? So what is 4 into 4? 16/25 को आप 4:5 कैसे लिख सकते हो diluted? लिख सकते हो? नहीं होता ना? बिल्कुल डिफरेंट है. Yeah, sorry. Question number 9. In 2018, so they're predicting the future. Next year की बात करें because this data is about 2017, right? The number of cars manufactured by Hyundai cars increased by 15% and the number of cars sold by Hyundai cars also increased by 22% with respect to the previous year. Find the number of cars that remained unsold in 2018. ठीक है. Very much doable. Approach will decide doable, not doable. Okay. Also, everyone, please like, 22% बढ़ गया कृष्णा. It means if there were 100 cars that Hyundai sold, then it will become 122. Okay. Sony, I think I'll be taking, because I have already taken arithmetic, I have taken algebra, I'm taking DI. If I'm not going to take Gaurav sir or Saral sir is going to take geometry. So one of the three of us is going to take it. Diluted, if you have half the questions in QA section of DI, give half the time at least. DI questions will anyways take little more time. One question in QA you can solve within a minute's time or 2 minutes. DI का एक question करने के लिए you need to first of all understand the paragraph and then it happens quickly, right? So 3 questions in DI generally take somewhere between 5 to 7 minutes. That's not the case in QA generally. It generally takes less than 5-6 minutes. Soumya, don't worry about 61 का कैसे increase करेंगे. ये cars sold को बोल रहे हैं ना. आपको 80 को increase करना है. Cars sold, yeah, 61% of 80,000 को increase करना है. So they're talking about cars sold increased by 22%. 61 is not cars sold. 61% of 80,000 is that the amount of the cars sold, right? Soumya? So a lot of people are answering option A. Varun has answered C. Divya has answered C. Shubham has answered B. Others have answered A. Okay, so this is how I will be solving this. 2017 data is given to us, right? This is 2017 data. They're saying in 2018, the number of cars manufactured by Hyundai cars increased by 15%. So people who have joined since the beginning of this session, you guys would know, increase by 15% can be also written as 1.15 times, right? Okay. And the number of cars sold by Hyundai cars also increased by 22%. So it will become 1.22 times multiplying factor with respect to the previous year. So find the number of cars that remained unsold in 2018. So first step is, how many cars in 2018 were manufactured by Hyundai? So can I say 80 का 1.15 times? इतना manufacture हुआ in 2018. Now, how many cars were sold in 2017? 61% of 80. So how many cars will be sold in 2018? Can I say 61% of 80? अब इसका कितना times करना है? 1.22 times, because 22% more was there, right? So I will be writing 1.15 at the start, multiplying factors. So if these many were manufactured, if these many were sold, so how many remained unsold? Can I say minus कर दो? 1.15 into 80 minus 1.22 into 61% of 80. Now, I'm not going to solve the individual values. Look at the expression, okay? Minus 1.22 into 61% into 80. What is the number that I can take outside? 80 आ जाएगा बाहर, है ना? And then I will have 1.15 minus 1.22 into 61%. 61% is 61 by 100, right? So I'm not going to write 61 by 100. I'm going to write 0.61. Now, the moment the calculation looks tedious, I will be like, I need an alternative approach. देखो भाई, इधर को कोई भी number है, whatever number you are going to get from the bracket, I don't care. Once it gets multiplied with 80, can I say my final answer will be in the table of 16 for sure? 16 या 8 के टेबल में, नहीं 16 नहीं, 8 के टेबल में. Can I say my answer will be in the table of 8? Yes or no? So I may use those options, I mean that particular logic to eliminate the options. 464 is not in the table of 8. 8 के लिए क्या होता है रूल? Last 3 digits ना? अच्छा हाँ, A है, sorry. 564 is not in the table of 8. 664, 64, 24, it is in the table of 8. 764, 72, 44, not in the table of 8. 864 in the table of 8. So at least I'm able to eliminate 3 options. But eventually solve करना ही पड़ेगा because I don't have one option. So I'll have to solve it. 122 into 61. 122 into 1 is 122 and 122 into 6. 12 into 6 is 72. And if I'm going to add it, this is going to be 7442. Going by this, it's going to be 0.7442. अब अपने को इसको 11500. Oh, why do we have to do all this? So this is going to give us 8 and 5 and 0 and 4. So 80 into 0.4. 58, which can be written as 8 into 4.058. Now, how do you multiply number by 8? ऐसे ही कर लेते हैं. 8 into 4, 32. 8 into 58. 8 into 50 is 400. 8 into 8 is 32. So 400, sorry, 64. 8 into 8 is 64 होता है ना? So 32464. Option A. Ram, this is the kind of question once you understand it's time consuming, you live it. ठीक है? But अभी मेरे को solve करना है ना, because you guys would be like, सर करके दिखाओ. वैसा होता है ना कि two things students do. एक होता है once I explain something, students say, सर एक बार और. So वो शेरो शायरी वाला, वाह वाह एक बार और. And the second is कि आधा छोड़ दिया, लगता नहीं है कि सर को आता है, सो सर करके दिखाओ, सर प्लीज सॉल्व इट कंप्लीटली. सो आई हैव टू एनीवेज डू दिस, राइट? नो मुस्कान, नो शॉर्टकट, सॉरी, you will have to do this calculation, right? Okay. Again, since we have done one bar graph, this is horizontal compounded graph. ठीक है? We will be solving line graph. एक line graph करेंगे, pie chart करेंगे, mix करेंगे, then we will come back and solve the remaining sets. So line graph, what are those generally used for? You will find that line graphs are generally used instead of bar graphs. All that they do is they join the top of each of the bars using a line. Line graphs can be of a lot of types. Like single line, you can have multiple lines. It can represent magnitude, it can represent percentage change. Right? So increase in profit in absolute terms, in percentage terms, growth rate is percentage only, no? Rate is English word for percentage. Average annual growth rate, percentage. Capacity utilization, this is again percentage or the fraction. Fraction and percentage, same thing. So let's see which one should we solve. ठीक है, एक ही है हमारे पास, so we're going to solve this. ठीक है, so let's solve this. Read the data given, look at the line graph, look at the table, try to understand what is given. हाँ प्रांजल, I completely agree. Time consuming है, पर नंबर आता है ना भाई, करना तो पड़ेगा. If you only are going to do QA तो नहीं चलेगा. And so far we have seen, out of all the questions, only 2 questions we have seen that were like we were supposed to leave. 2 दिखा केवल, out of I think 10 questions. तो 8 तो कर सकते हैं. Let's concentrate and capitalize on what we are capable of doing rather than we can't do. जो नहीं कर सकते नहीं कर सकते. Can I become a principal of a school? No, I can't. So why to cry over it? Varun, the kind of questions that we have come across, I don't think approximation or guesswork is going to help. Because there was a minus sign. Had it been in product, everything multiplied है तो बहुत आसान. Minus या plus में things change, right? Hi Rehana. So the line graph given below shows the percentage increase in population of 6 villages from year 2000 to 2001 and from year 2001 to 2002. Okay. And the villages, they have given us the values for some of them. So this is a missing data type line graph. Missing data discuss kara tha na? Some of the values in the table will be missing. So you have to use a bit of logic and understand. नीरव नहीं, difficult नहीं है, समझना मुश्किल हो सकता है, but it's not difficult. Once you understand it, what is it all about, फिर तुरंत solve हो जाए. Ram, if you are going to solve 5 questions within 10 minutes, definitely go for it. भाई 10 मिनट में 5 क्वेश्चन बहुत अच्छी बात है. It's a very good pace. It's a very good thing. If you think that one question alone is going to take 4-5 minutes or more than 3 minutes, don't do that question. In a set, there are 3 questions or 4 questions. 3 हो गए, एक नहीं हो रहा, छोड़ दो ना. ऐसा तो नहीं है, unless and until you are done with all the 4 questions, you will not get marks for the remaining 3 also. Sometimes only one question is easy, the remaining all 3 are difficult. छोड़ो ना, मत करो तीनों. Move to the next set. Each question carries equal marks, so how does it matter? मैं आसान करूं या difficult करूं? At the end of the day, फूफा, मामा, रिलेटिव्स, नेबर में अंकल आंटी सब यही पूछने वाले हैं, बेटे का एग्जाम क्लियर हुआ कि नहीं. Nobody is going to ask कितने क्वेश्चंस करे थे, right? So be smart, solve questions that are easy. Nirav, similar level of questions. Tushar, improve your arithmetic in quant. I haven't seen anybody answering this so far. Kya ho gaya? Not able to understand? Okay. So let's take village A. The red one shows you the percentage change from 2001 to 2002. And the blue one shows you the percentage increase in the population from 2000 to 2001. अच्छा, sorry, मैंने question ही नहीं दिखाया. I'm sorry, my bad. Sorry, I just realized there was no question. I was like, why is no one answering? My bad. यही होता है, गप करने में ना इधर उधर हो जाता है. Everybody please do like. You guys have already subscribed. People who are watching, who are not in the chat, please do subscribe so that you can clear your doubts and your queries. And also do press the bell icon, because we are going to have very soon other sessions. So what is the ratio of population of village E in year 2002 to that of village A in year 2000? Varun, not really required. Completely your call if you would like to fill the table first of all and then solve it. Or if you want to solve along with it, fill the table with whatever is required. Because what happens, Varun, is sometimes maybe if you solve all the questions, you may not even require to fill the table. You may not have to fill, let's say, 2 rows. Questions pucha hi nahi usse. So don't you think we'll be wasting our time and energy in order to fill the values, right? So, getting the options as B, A, Vicky is saying E. Vicky has a good track of answering questions correctly. Chinta is saying E. Sahadev is saying A. Varun is saying A. Pratik, A. Akhil A, Priya E, Shivam E. So there is a doubt between A and E. Okay. देखते हैं. So what is this about? I'm not looking at the table right now. Okay, we need to interpret the data. अभी data है, अपन को इसको समझना है so that it becomes information, right? So suppose village A का population was 100 in the year 2000. So in 2001, what will be the population? For that, you will go to the blue marking. It says 25% का increase हो गया. So it increased by 25%. So this one will become 125. है ना? Then in 2002, how much will be the population? Then you will go to the red one marking for village A and you will check what percentage does it tell you. So it tells you it increased by 20%. 125 ka 20% if you increase, it becomes 150. Which means whatever was the population of village A in the year 2000, In the year 2002, 50% बढ़ जाएगा, which is like successive percentage change, of course. 25% increase and 20% increase का successive 50% होता है. I believe you guys must have done a lot of questions to already know that. याद हो गया होगा अब तो a plus b plus ab by 100 वाला formula or multiplying factor. So this is what the line graph is about. Now what is the table about? If I go to, okay, sorry, you guys can't see 50%. I just checked on YouTube. So this is a 50% increase. I believe now this is visible. Okay, so now if I look at village A, 2002 May, it is given as 3750. So if this is 3750 in 2002, तो 2000 में कितना होगा? So what numbers 50% increase will take you to 3750? किस नंबर का 1.5 3750 होता है? यही ना? Which number is that? Which numbers 50% increase will take you to 3750? 2500. मैंने हिट एंड ट्रायल किया. I took 2000 तो कम हो गया, 3000 हो गया. I took 4000 तो वो बढ़ गया. So I took 3000 फिर भी बढ़ गया. So I took 2500. So I took a jump of 500 every time or 1000 every time I wanted to do hit and trial. I will not be like it, the population will be 2170 only. ये क्वेश्चन बनाने वाले को दुश्मनी है क्या ऐसे वैल्यूज देगा हर बार? So I took simple numbers and did hit and trial. Okay. So once we understood what the data is about, we can go ahead and solve the question. So I'm not going to fill the table. Okay. So what is the ratio of population of village E in the year 2002? So I will go to E in the year 2002. The population, can I say, for village E should be 1250 का पहले 30% increase and then 20% increase. See, I'm using multiplying factor because I really don't want to do that number plus 20% add karo. And village A, so this is in the year 2002 and village A in the year 2000. So village A ka, can I say this is going to be 3750 is the final value divided by, this was 20%, so 1.2, and this is 25% into 1.25. Since we have just calculated that this is 2500, I think this is good enough. We don't have to solve it. So this is 1250 into 1.3 into 1.2 divided by 2500. Now, do you guys think I am going to actually solve this? नहीं, आपको पता नहीं है, मैं बहुत lazy हूं. I am like, यार न्यूमरेटर में 13 दिख रहा है. Ignore point, no? I am seeing 13. Denominator में there is no 13 कि 13 गया. So can I say my final answers में numerator, that is the first proportion, should be a number in the table of 13? 41 तो नहीं होता 13 के टेबल में, 37 नहीं होता, 48 नहीं होता, 44 नहीं होता. E is my answer. So none of these. What is that answer? I have no idea because I did not calculate it. But I definitely know it's going to be 13 का table का some number divided by or is to some other number. 2500 is not made up of 13. Is it clear? Everyone. Multiplying factors are your best friends in competitive exams. Hold on. I can't see what you guys are writing. I can't see the chat. Give me a moment. Okay, until then, please go ahead, solve the next one. Soumya, multiplying factor, if you know, so you would know what I wrote in that bracket. If you increase something by 20%, so it becomes 1.2 into the original value, initial value. अब final value when कोई एक number है which increased by 20% and became 100, so the values, original value should be less than it, so you divide it by the multiplying factor. So मेरे कहने का मतलब है कि suppose 100 जो है वो 10% बढ़ गया, this is x. So what you are going to do is you will write x as 1.1 into 100. But if the question is there is a value जिसको 10% बढ़ाया and then it became 100, so you will write x as 100 by 1.1. ऐसे करते हैं. If the initial value is known, so you use the multiplying factor with the initial value. But if the final value is known, you divide it. क्योंकि इसमें कॉमन सेंस लगा रहे हैं. ओके. Pratik, ideal time to solve all the questions in DI. Suppose there are 20 questions and let's say there are 5 sets. So you should take somewhere around, in order to solve all the sets, you should take somewhere around 35 minutes. 30 to 35 minutes. 6 to 7 minutes per set should be your average. मतलब 20 questions करने में 30-35 minutes. 1.5 minutes per question is like good. Not very good, but it's good. Anything less than 30 minutes is brilliant. Okay, so people have started answering. There is a confusion between B and A. Jatin has answered A. Vicky says little bit less than 2/3, so that means Vicky is using approximation. Good, Vicky. Less than 2/3 मतलब B होना चाहिए आपके हिसाब से. Diluted, your call if you want to do DI first or QA first, your choice. If you are confident in arithmetic, do first. Confidence आएगा ना, question solve होंगे. Not confident, do at the end. Solve the other topics first. A, B, A, B, A, B. Okay, so let's see whether it is A or B. Population of village A in year 2000. So population of village A in the year 2000 will be, we have already solved it, thankfully, so 2500. Is what percent more than population of village C in the year 2002? So village C 2002 is 1518. So we need to figure out कितना percentage ज़्यादा है ना? So I'm going to do, this is with respect to 1518, no? So 1518 and 2500. So tell me, can I ignore 18? See, I'm not going to do that minus. I'm using multiplying factor, ठीक है? So if I ignore 18, I can write this as 2500 by 1500, which will become 25 by 15, which will become 5 by 3. And 5 by 3 का मतलब होता है 1.666666. बोले तो opposite of multiplying factor, this is 66.66% more, right? But the actual denominator is not 1500, it is 1518. मतलब ज़्यादा है as per what we assumed. So should my answer be more than 66% or should my answer be less than 66%? Common sense लगाने का. Since denominator is actually larger, so my value should become smaller, which is less than 66%. I will go with B. None of these पे बिल्कुल नहीं जा रहा मैं. Jay, I said for DI, just DI. DI is a major chunk, no? Almost half the questions of QA is DI. सारे DI करने हैं तब. और DI सारे कर लोगे तो QA में you have to do very few questions, है ना? Varun, the only way these all shortcuts are going to strike if you are not going to use calculator, if you are not going to be like, I need to calculate it precisely. तभी स्ट्राइक करेगा. मतलब लेजी हो जाओ. You're like, I don't like maths, but 2 by 3 is 66%. So 2 by 3 से ज़्यादा will be less than 66%. पेन नहीं यूज करोगे, it will always be beneficial for you. Jay, for whole cons, completely your choice, your call. Next question. जय आपके ऊपर है. मैं बोल दूंगा कि 1 आवर देना है तो जबरदस्ती 1 आवर दोगे, एंड सम अदर सेक्शन विच एक्चुअली रिक्वायर्ड मोर टाइम ऑफ योर्स यू विल स्पेंड लेस, यू विल एंड अप स्पेंडिंग लेस टाइम रिलेटिवली. तो आप मॉक्स दे रहे हो, सो यू विल हैव एन आइडिया एज टू हाउ यू शुड बी डिस्ट्रीब्यूटिंग द ओवरऑल टाइम बिटवीन दी सेक्शंस. तो कल आगे मेरा गला पकड़ोगे, सर आपने 1 घंटा बोला था, मैंने 1 घंटा दिया, मेरा नहीं दूसरा सेक्शन अच्छा गया. राइट. सो पर्सन टू पर्सन डिपेंड करता. इफ रेशियो ऑफ पॉपुलेशन ऑफ विलेज सी टू दैट ऑफ विलेज डी इन 2000 की बात कर रहे हैं, इज 20 and 27, देन व्हाट विल बी द पॉपुलेशन ऑफ विलेज डी इन 2002? C and D. People are saying option A. Okay. B. B तो बिल्कुल नहीं होने वाला. B and C can't be the answer. Not possible. D is already 27. तो 27 का whatever percentage increase, decrease, blah blah करोगे आप, कुछ भी कर लो, answer will be in the table of 9 because 27 is already in the table of 9. B option is not in the table of 9. C option is not in the table of 9. So answer is going to be either A or D. They both are in the table of 9. And I can very easily see which out of A and D is the answer without doing any calculation, because I'm like not interested in doing calculation. भाई देखो, D is already larger in population, है ना? Don't look at the table. Here C का population is 22 people, D's population is 27 people, और 22x, 27x, 2200, 2700, जो मन करता है ले लो ना. That's the beauty about ratio. Your call. What you want to take it. So 22 and 27 is what I am assuming. Now if you look at the percentage changes in C and the percentage changes in D, किसका ज्यादा changes आ रहा है, C का या D का? Of course it's D. So 27 है already, and 27 is already larger than 22, and if you increase by relatively larger percentage changes as compared to C, don't you think कि 2002 में D का population C का population से ज्यादा होना चाहिए? The population of D should be more than the population of C in the year 2002. Population of C, now I will go and look in the table, is 1518. D's population should be definitely more than 1518. And should be in the table of 9 also. That's not going anywhere. उससे नहीं बचोगे आप. So between A, B, C and D, B and C were ruled out because they were not in the table of 9. Between A and D, D होगा आंसर. ऐसे यूज करोगे तो DI आसान होगा. पेन यूज कर लिया, मुश्किल. Is this part understood why it should be D? Because for C, I am saying 22x ka, this is 15% increase into 20% increase, eventually becomes 1518. दिमाग खराब करने वाला calculation है. If you are thinking you are going to solve for x, don't do it. What about D? Village D is going to be 27x into The first change is 1.2, the second percentage change is 1.3, and it gives you what number? So if I consider this as y, which is the answer I should be getting, how to solve y? Divide kar do na bhai. Divide, the moment you divide it, 1.2, 1.2 cancel. Common sense. ये दोनों same percentage change था, it's not going to affect, क्योंकि anyways you're going to divide it. Comparison कर रहे हैं ना, division कहते हैं उसे. And then 22, x also gets cancelled out. 22 is in the table of 11, 1518 is also in the table of 11. Try it, it is. So ये 27 तो नहीं जा रहा ना कहीं, 9 रहेगा ना, like I said. So y should be a number in the table of 9. Will this 13 go? Will this 13 stay? 13 भी रहेगा क्या? हो सकता none of these हो, who knows? 13, will it get cancelled out? Do we have a 13 here? $13, 21, 13, 88. No, there is no 13 there. There is no 13 there. Guys, can you please solve it on your own and figure out which order of D and E is the answer? I will personally go with D. None of these पे मैं बिल्कुल विश्वास नहीं रखता. Worst case, what will happen? One question wrong out of 20 questions, right? चलेगा. But of course, if I solve it, I'll get my answer. Okay, pie chart. Now, pie charts, please understand, pie charts are the easiest of, I mean, I believe, okay, pie charts is the easiest among all the DIs. Why? क्योंकि pie chart में ना, everything is already given in terms of percentage. So good, no? The most difficult calculations that we come across in DI is percentage calculation, the percentage change calculation and all that. So अपन क्या करते हैं, pie chart में पहले given होता है. None of that is already given in any of the other types of DIs, right? Any other type of graphs. Now, pie chart का shortcut क्या होता है? So there are two shortcuts. First shortcut is, if you have a pie chart where the base is not given, base matlab what is the overall value of the pie, then you can assume it to be anything. कुछ भी मान लो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं. ठीक है? You can assume it to be 100, 200 and so on. So if in a pie chart everything is given in terms of percentage, suppose this is given as 10%, this is given as 15%, this is given as 25%, ऐसे ऐसे करके कुछ कुछ given है. So since it is in terms of percentage, assume 100. Suppose there is a pie chart where the things are given in terms of degrees. Suppose this is 60 degrees, 30 degrees, 90 degrees. So, and the base is not given. So you will assume the base again, or either base assume कर लोगे 360. So 360 में से you have 60 here, 30 here, 90 here. So you know the values here. Okay. Now, what kind of questions can be solved using this assumption? Whenever they ask you about ratios, percentage change, कौन सा ज़्यादा, कौन सा कम, as in comparison. But if they ask you the exact magnitude, as in what is the value of this particular pie, तो आपको actual magnitude लेके, actual base is what you need. Your assumption will not help. But this also helps sometimes. Suppose actual base was given as 40,000. आपने 100 लेके solve कर लिया. After taking 100, you got 10. So if instead of 100, if it is 40,000, you will get 400 or 4,000, कुछ ऐसा आएगा ना जी. So it's related. Everything is in ratio here. So this is the first shortcut when it comes to base assumption. The second shortcut about pie charts is, if you are given two pie charts, let's say for two different years, year 1 and year 2, and the base of a particular year is given, let's say 360, and the base of the next year is, let's say, given as 540 or 360,000, 540,000, kuch given hai. What you do in such cases, you again ignore the bases and you take their ratios. 360 and 540,000, they are in the ratio of 2:3. They both are in the table of 18. 18 का double 36 होता है, 18 का 3 times 54 होता है. So you will assume that this is 200, this is 300 and start solving. So if this is 10%, so 2 into 10, this will be 20. If this is, let's say 30%, 2 into 30, this will be 60. So you simply multiply the first value and the, as in the leftmost digits. यही मतलब हुआ. ऐसे जल्दी जल्दी करके solve कर लेते हैं. So in pie charts, we assume bases a lot if the bases are complicated ones. Pranjal, it's not 360 degrees, it's 360. मतलब if it says, suppose this is about the salary of a person and इतना वो rent में जाता है, so you are going to assume कि उसकी salary 360 है. This person earns 360 rupees. Out of that 360 rupees, 60 rupees is the amount he pays for the rent. ये conversion होता है ऐसे. So it depends on the language of the question, right? If it is not about salary, if it is about some production happening, fixed cost, variable cost, labor cost, blah blah, तो आप cost ले लोगे. जो ऐसा बोला जाएगा, you are going to assume accordingly. Sayana, you can't really help it. You have to anyways. अच्छा कॉलेज चाहिए, कमाना है ना लाइफ में. अच्छा कमाना है, अच्छा कॉलेज, अच्छी पढ़ाई, अच्छा कंपटीशन. If you are thinking, if anyone is thinking कि बिना पढ़ाई के कमा लेंगे लाइफ में, there are only two ways. You know, be a politician or be a bad politician or be a person जो उल्टे सीधे काम करता है. If you want a white collar job, something that you can, you know, with pride, and you can proudly, you know, tell people that what work you can do, you will have to go through a good competitive exam. Okay, so let's solve this pie chart. Given below pie chart, show percentage distribution of total chocolate manufactured by 6 companies. Okay, chocolates manufactured in 2019 is 75% more than the chocolate manufactured in 2018. और ये data अपना 2018 का. So 2019 data is invisible here. Percentage distribution for both the years remains same for all the 6 companies. Matlab, if I try to draw the pie chart for the year 2019 as well, because this is 2018 ka, so iska percentage distribution will be still the same. A will still constitute 24%, B will still constitute 16%, and so on and so forth. Right? So, solve this one. हाँ Varun, it's true for all the exams, especially those non-MBA exams, banking, SSC. You have to be actually very good. You have to be much better in DIs and LRs as compared to when you're applying for MBA. Level uska low hota hai relatively, not SSC. SSC quant is very good. Relatively, the level of difficulty is lower, but the time constraint is so much and the competition is so fierce. You have to be very quick. So if I'm saying you can take 1.5, 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes to solve a question, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, because the next question you can solve within a minute. So on an average चल जाएगा. But in banking exam, if you're spending 2 minutes for a question, कभी clear नहीं होने वाला. Very good, Madhur. Very good. So 400, 700 ले लो Madhur and solve. Madhur understood, or maybe he must be using it for all his practicing. 2018 base को अपने 100 ले लिया. 2019 base as per the question is 75% more. So this is 175. This is the first step. Then you see 100 and 175 mein what is the ratio? So the ratio is 25 into 4, 25 into 7. So you will take 400 and 700. उसके बाद क्या करोगे? How much of A do we have? 24 into 4, 96. How much of B do we have? 16 into 4, 64. Similarly, how much of A are we going to have in the year 2019? 24 into 7, 16 into 7, and so on and so forth. So this 6720 is irrelevant right now. You can use it to compare later on. पर आंसर आ जाएगा, you will come to know no कि answer should be in the table of which number. Look at the options. Maybe that 6720 will become irrelevant. Who knows? So people are answering B as the answer. We will have to check that. Not really that difficult, right? 35% and 36% का difference आ रहा है 1%. Right? So everyone is getting B. So let's look at the question. If the difference between chocolates manufactured by F and C together in 2018, so I will take 2018 का data इधर से, 2019 I will be taking this from here. So 400 and 700 is what I will take. ठीक है? 400 and 700 का use बाद में. Base you multiply later on. First you figure out the percentage. So F and C together in 2018 is going to be 35% of 400. ये मान लिया मैंने, right? और 35 into 4, ठीक है? Let's try 35 into 4. Shall I multiply 35 and 4? Not going to do that. 2019 का चेक करते हैं. 2019 we need A and E together. So A and E together is 24 and 12. 24 and 12 is 36. So it's going to be 36 into 7. It's given that the difference between these two is 6720. Then find the total number of chocolates manufactured by B and D in 2019. Okay. So this is actually 400x, 700x actual. This is 4x, 7x. So once you get the value of x from here, which is actually not required, can I put this value of x to figure out the answer? B and D together will be 29% of 700x. Can I say this is what will give me the answer? ये बोल सकते हैं? मेरे को ये कैलकुलेट करना है ना. I have to calculate 29% of 700x. Looking at this, can I say my final answer should be in the table of 29? It's a prime number as well as 7. 7 तो कहीं नहीं जा रहा. Out of these options, which ones are in the table of 7? Okay. So this is 14, 52. This is not in the table of 7. This is 49. B is in the table of 7. This is not in the table of 7. 14, 25, 21, 32. It's not in the table of 7. 14, 42, 20. It's not in the table of 7. B is your answer. सॉल्व ही नहीं करा. मेरे को डर लग गया कि पहले तो x निकालो, फिर उस x को इधर पुट करो. नहीं करना इतना. Please use the similar logic and solve this one now. People who have joined now, please do like. People who are watching it, who are not in the chat, please do subscribe. So, आदर डालो. If you are scared of calculation, why don't you use these methods? Of course, for this you should be good with tables. 7 का table, और या फिर you should be able to divide a number by 7, a number by 11, 13, 3, 5. इतना तो आना चाहिए, right? No सौम्या, मैंने 7 से डिवाइड करा. जल्दी जल्दी करा. 7 से डिवाइड करा. 7 into 1 is 7. बच गया मेरे पास 662 था, तो वो जाएगा 56 तक. another 6 is there. So मैंने वैसे जल्दी जल्दी डिवाइड करा. 7 का डिविजिबिलिटी रूल मेरे को नहीं आता. I know divisibility rules of 3, 9, 5, 25, 4, 8, 11 ये वाले पता है. दूसरे प्राइम नंबर्स के डिविजिबिलिटी रूल नहीं आते मेरे को. मेरे को पता ही नहीं होगा, मैं यूज ही नहीं करूंगा, बिकॉज द डिविजिबिलिटी रूल्स आर वेरी कॉम्प्लिकेटेड फॉर 7, 13, 19 द अदर प्राइम नंबर्स, है ना. क्यों करूं उसको यूज? इट्स गुड टू नो टू शो ऑफ, बट एग्जाम में हेल्प नहीं करते. घूम फिर के वी गो बैक टू आवर प्रिमिटिव अप्रोच, डिवाइडेड नॉर्मली. मिस्टर एक्स, आई डाउट दैट. यू कैन ड्रॉप एन ईमेल मे बी. They might consider, but I doubt कि they will let you change it. क्या हो गया? उधर क्यों नहीं जाना? उधार ले रखा है उधर किसी से, या एक्स रहती है उधर? उस गली क्यों नहीं जाना जिधर सेंटर है? Okay. Everyone is answering A. Let's see. So find the ratio between the total number of chocolates manufactured by A and B together in 2018. A and B together is 20, 30, 40. So 40% of 400. So मेरे को याद है ये 400 है 2018 का डेटा, 2019 का डेटा is 700, right? And number of chocolates manufactured by E and D in 2019. E and D in 2019 will be 25% of 700. मेरे को इसका रेशियो फिगर आउट करना है. मेहनत नहीं है. It's plain and simple. 7 के टेबल का नंबर होना चाहिए. So that 7 will stay. So 7 will stay in the second proportion. It might be A. B नहीं हो रहा, C नहीं हो रहा, E नहीं हो रहा. It might be D also. Both are possible. But D has a 31 in the first proportion. I don't have a 31 here. 4 है, 2 से बनता है, 31 किधर से आया? So D can't be our answer, so it should be A. I can still do 40 into 4 is to 25 into 7. मैं ये अभी भी कर सकता हूं, पर क्यों करूं? मेहनत लगेगी ना. मेहनत से तो हम भागते हैं बचपन से. One more. Pratik says my exam center is there where exam doesn't happen. जिधर एग्जाम ही नहीं होता. Let me guess which state it might be. I shouldn't do that, right? I shouldn't stereotype. स्वागत. वहां पर लाइफ का सबसे बड़ा एग्जाम होता है. Chandler, you missed the main part. 2019 is 75% more, no? So 2018 को 100 लिया, तो 2019 will become 175. Then you take the ratio 4:7. And फिर zeros लगा लो to make your calculation easier. 2 zeros लगा लो. Percentage and 2 zeros दोनों तो एक दूसरे के दुश्मन है. They always cancel out each other, है ना? That's why we did that. ठीक है? So people are getting A and D as the options. Anyone who can tell me सही वाला कौन सा है? Shefali and Varun answered A initially. After that, everyone is after D. So is it D? Let's see. If there are two types of chocolate manufactured by C. So C has a further diversification, which are called P and Q. Okay? And the ratio between P and Q is 2:3. So P is 2, Q is 3. देखा जाए तो C 10% है ना? 10 को if you are going to divide in the ratio 2:3, so don't you think it will become something like 4 and 6%? So I will call this as P, which is 4%, and I will call this part as Q, which is 6%. So that total is 10%, and वो 2:3 भी है. Okay, and it is true for both the years, not only 2018. And the difference between P chocolates manufactured by C in both the years is 1200. Find the difference of number of Q chocolate manufactured by C in both the years. तो कॉमन सेंस वाला क्वेश्चन है, अगर 4% का डिफरेंस इज 1200, तो 6% का डिफरेंस विल बी हाउ मच, हाउ मेनी? तो देखा जाए तो 4 का 1.5 टाइम्स इज 6, सो 1200 का 1.5 टाइम्स इज 1800. 1200 plus half of 1200 is 600. 12 plus 6, 1800. So it is D. So I don't have to calculate what is the overall value. The bases were also not required. Why? Because it was the comparison between two, right? We can straight away solve it. Okay, good. Yes, Pratik, DIs are the game changers. Thank you guys. So we are not going anywhere. Okay. So thank you guys for patiently waiting for 1/4 to 2 hours now. We do have one more types of DI to take care of. Caselits. Okay. So these are the types of sets which will have you certain cases or paragraphs given. So this will be more like an LR. So sometimes it becomes difficult to differentiate between a reasoning based DI and a DI based LR. Okay. So ये reasoning based DI है. You have to reason a bit first and then you will be able to understand what is going to happen. Sometimes you will have to make the cases until then you won't be able to proceed. Okay. The statements are important. This is like an LR. So you should definitely very carefully read the statements. Okay. So let's try one of those. Let me see. जो थोड़ा सिंपलर वाला होगा वो वाला ट्राई कर लेंगे. Okay. Unfortunately, we have only one and there are 4 questions. This is the data. ऐसे ही करते हैं ना एग्जाम में भी. When you look at a particular passage, a paragraph, something, then you go through the questions and you see, oh, it has got 4 questions. Good. अरे इसके 2 ही हैं, नहीं करेंगे. 2 क्वेश्चन के लिए इतनी मेहनत नहीं करेंगे, right? So same thing I just did. I looked at the set, I moved ahead and I was like, okay, fine. There are 4 questions and we have 15 minutes more, approximately 15 minutes. Sorry, Shubham, can't take a break. Live session है ना, somebody who's going to rewatch it would be like, break ले लिया. वो तो आराम से बैठ के देख रहा है. So 2 shops, A and B, sell pizzas and burgers. Burgers only on Sunday and Monday. The number of pizzas sold by shop B on Sunday was 64, which is equal to the number of burgers sold by shop A on Sunday. The number of burgers sold by shop A on Monday is 20% more than the number of pizzas sold by shop A on Monday. The number of pizzas, वगैरह 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 वगैरह. Right? So there is no graph here. There is no table. There is no bar graph, no pie chart, no line graph. कुछ नहीं इधर को. Right? So you have to understand this and you have to think, how are you going to interpret it? You don't have to read between the lines or exactly. You should just have a gist. Gist का मतलब होता है ना कि एक idea लग जाएगा what all things are given. So how should I interpret it? Should I draw a table? Should I draw a bar graph? Should I draw a pie chart? मेरे को बनाने का है. बोले तो you have to make it. So what should I do? Quick. Table? Okay, good, Krishna. Now, if I'm going to make the table, how should I make the rows and columns? Kya naam de so that it becomes easy for us to understand. For that, we need to understand how many attributes are here, because this is like an LR set. Na? LR set mein yahi karte apan. We just see how many attributes are there. So we have got two shops A and B, and we are talking about 2 days, Sunday and Monday. And then we are talking about pizzas and burgers. Sold by A on Sunday, sold by A on Monday, sold by B on Sunday, Monday. कैसे devise करे? What kind of table shall we make so that ये बन जाए? So if you guys have done LR, so you guys would agree there are many different ways by which we can do it. What I will prefer is कि Sunday इधर लिख देते हैं, Monday इधर लिख देते हैं. Sunday को पिज्जा बर्गर दोनों, Monday को पिज्जा बर्गर दोनों. Right? And then I will talk about shop A and B. So there are a total of 4 and 4, 8 cells that we need to fill. Sunday pizza burger by shop A and B. Monday pizza burger by shop A and B. I hope you guys would agree. You can interchange the row and columns. कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. Pizza burger ko you can bifurcate with, of course it will be per day only, Sunday Monday ka hi hoga, but Sunday Monday can become the horizontal rows and AB can become vertical columns, right? Okay, now you go ahead, read the graph. तो ये DI हमने बनाया, LR था पर DI बना दिया. So you go ahead, read it, fill the table so that we can go ahead and solve the questions. Because the questions are very straightforward. I had a glance through the questions right when I was like, kitne questions hai? I was looking at the options. Arey, percentage. Acha, exact values. Acha, exact values. Acha, amount. So, मेरे को idea लग गया था कि मेरे को table fill करना पड़ेगा या फिर I can leave it as such. So, go ahead and fill the table. I'll give you guys a couple of minutes. Then I will fill it. Then we can verify. And I will hope that you guys will be able to answer the 4 questions associated with them. I don't see many likes. So many people have joined. So many people are here. The only thing, see, this is for free, right? The only thing that motivates us is the likes and the good comments that we get to read in the chat, live chat. Good comments doesn't mean ki, sir, you are good, sir, session was good. Not that. अभी थोड़ी देर पहले स्वागत ने भी कुछ comment मारा था. Right? Somebody else also queried something, asked something. So fun and everything. So it looks lively. मजा आता है. आपके लिए भी it is good for me as well. So these are the things that drive us. Like वगैरह करोगे, I'll be like, हाँ चलो, these many students loved it. Right? Good, Harsh. Good. Varun, read these statements quickly. You will have a data. You know exactly where to go quickly. Okay, so a couple of minutes. So let's, हाँ कृष्णा, of course it will be confusing if they are going to give you straight away everything, तो सबसे नहीं हो जाएगा तुरंत, कुछ क्वेश्चन लाइक बनाएंगे तो. You only are going to ask a question to your sibling, your younger sibling or your friend. Straightforward question करोगे. A के फादर के दो बेटे हैं, एक का नाम B है. What is the name of the other son? ऐसा क्वेश्चन थोड़ी कोई पूछता है, right? Okay, so two shops A and B sell pizzas and burgers only on Sunday and Monday. The number of pizzas sold by shop B on Sunday, B को Sunday को जाओ, and it's about pizzas, was 64. So we are going to write 64 here. B pizza Sunday 64, which is equal to the number of burgers sold by shop A. So go to shop A on Sunday. Sunday का burgers में go and write 64. Right? So we are done with this. Next, the number of burgers sold by shop A on Monday, Monday इसकी बात कर रहे हैं, is 20% more than the number of pizzas sold by shop A on Monday. So if this is X, this is 1.2X. Why variable? Because I have no idea as to what number to put over there. You know? So I will say X and 1.2X, 20% more. So I believe अभी तक सबको multiplying factor समझ में आया होगा. Burger is 20% more than pizzas on Monday, दोनों Monday. ठीक है, चलो. The number of pizzas sold by shop A on Sunday, the missing one, is 40 more than the number of pizzas sold by shop B on Sunday. ठीक है? So if I take this as Y, this is going to be Y plus 40. So the number of pizzas sold by shop A on Sunday is 40 more than the number of pizzas sold by shop B on Sunday. दोनों Sunday की बात कर रहे हैं, between A and B. One is pizza. Oh, hold on. Both are pizzas, no? Sorry, it's not burger. So if this is 64, so 40 more, it will become 104. ये तो simple था, straightforward था. The average number of pizzas sold by shop A on Sunday, Monday, Sunday and Monday का average, that is 104 plus X, and burgers sold by shop B on Monday, burgers sold by shop B on Monday is 120. So the number of pizzas sold by shop A on Sunday, Monday, 104 and X, ठीक है, पिज्जा की बात कर रहे हैं, and burgers sold by shop B on Monday, that part was not known, so I have taken that as Y. This is given as 120. So average बोल रहे हैं ना, so I'll have to divide it by 3. 3 होना चाहिए या 2 होना चाहिए? Since there are 3 numbers, it should be 3, right? Common sense तो यही बोलता है. The total number of pizzas sold was 400. Total number of pizzas sold was 400. So we have 168 इधर. तो इधर को कितना होना चाहिए? Remaining 232. Out of 232, if we have X over here, so this should be 232 minus X. है ना? Which was 50 less than the total number of burgers sold. So इन दोनों का sum, I don't know if you guys can see. No, you guys won't be able to see. So the sum of these two values should be 450. The number of burger and pizzas sold by shop B were 352. The number of burger and pizzas sold by shop B was 352. Since they have not mentioned the date, मतलब पूरा ही होगा, है ना? Now we have equations to figure out what the value of x, y will be. So अगर इसको देखें हम, shop B में we already have 64 and 232, which is going to give us 296. 296 number already है, so this should be 56 plus x minus y. Now if I am going to add both of these, I will have an equation. एक equation तो ये है. I'm going to erase this. And the second equation I will get is from that 450 ka sum. Total burgers is 64 plus 56, which is 120 plus x minus y. This is Sunday ka burger. Plus Monday ka burger is 1.2x plus y. This is 450. Y and y gets cancelled out. So I will have 2.2x is equal to 330. And x should be, x कितना होना चाहिए? So 11 गया तो 300 का half 150. 150. If I get the value of x as 150, so I will have 104 plus 150 plus y is equal to 360. So 254 इधर है, तो y will turn out to be 254. 106. 254 plus 106 is 360, no? 106. Now we will put in the values. ठीक है? So x was 150. 150 का 1.2 times, मतलब 20% more, this will be 180. Y is 106. This is 232 minus 150, which will be 82. This is 56 plus x minus y. मतलब 150 minus 106 is 44 plus 56. 44 plus 56 is 100. अब ये values आ गए हमारे पास. 104, 64, 150, 180, 64, 100, 82, 106. ठीक है? What is the answer for this? Number of pizzas sold by shop B on Monday. So go on Monday, go to B, pizzas पे, is what percentage of divided by number of burgers, go to burgers, Monday में shop A का. So divide these two numbers and do approximation. Fortunately, you will get a unique answer. The values are far, है ना? 54, 57 थोड़ा close है, उसके अलावा सब दूर दूर है. I tend to do silly mistakes in such cases which require continuous concentration. How can I improve on that, sir? Vicky, मेरे से बुरा concentration तो नहीं होगा आपका. If I sit to study, which I do, अभी भी पढ़ना पड़ता है, I have to keep updated myself. I can hardly sit for over 45 minutes to 1 hour continuously. उससे ज़्यादा होता ही नहीं है. बहुत मुश्किल होता है मुझे. Okay? But those 45 minutes to 1 hour is like full concentration. If you ask me 10 minutes पहले कौन सा number बोला था, which concept or which calculation did we discuss, I will tell you right away. So short term है, पर पक्का. So this happens to a lot of us. People who can study for only short duration, but they study very good. तो वो थोड़ा concentration उतना बना के रखो, ठीक है? नहीं तो कोई फायदा नहीं है. You can't sit for long as well, and concentration भी नहीं है. So it's like what I did in the last question. I'll have to go back and check. याद है that calculation where the village A का 2000 का data was 2500, right? As in 2500 was the population. So if you don't remember at the beginning कि 2500 निकाल लिया है, and if it is going to be used in the fourth question, तो दिक्कत है ना भाई. You will end up solving again. या फिर रफ शीट में you will be looking कि 2500 किधर था. तो थोड़ा सा वो करना पड़ेगा. बादाम खाओ. No need. I am not giving CET. People are confused between option Bravo and Delta. Couple of you have also answered Charlie, as in 54.7. So we will have to see which out of these is the answer. So number of pizzas sold by shop B on Monday. Number of pizzas sold by shop B on Monday. 82 divided by number of burgers sold by shop A on Monday. Number of burgers by shop A on Monday is 180. पिज्जा B का 82 है और मंडे में 180 है. So 82 upon 180 is going to be what? Okay. So I'm going to do a bit of approximation because I believe the values are very far. 54, 57 नजदीक नहीं है, बहुत दूर है. So I'm going to approximate and write this as 81 by 180. मालूम है क्यों करा है? Do you know why I wrote 82 as 181? Because 81 is in the table of 9 and 180 is also in the table of 9. So this becomes 9 upon 20, which is 45 by 100. 45 by 100 is 45%, है ना? So what do you think 82 by 180 is going to give you? 45 से ज़्यादा या कम? Definitely a little more than 45%. A little more than 45% is option D. I don't have to check 0.6 है कि 0.2 है. नहीं, क्यों करना? There is only one option. So people who got 54.7 or something, either you guys did a mistake in the pizza burger उठाने में, या फिर silly calculation mistake. Okay, next one. What is the average number of burgers sold by shop B on Sunday and the number of pizzas sold by shop A on Sunday? दोनों Sunday में जाना है. That's a good thing. B का burger, A का pizza. Sunday, B का burger, A का pizza का average. No, Varun, this is a DI. This is known as reasoning based DI. Caselits, paragraph based. So B का burger Sunday, A का pizza Sunday. No, Shubham. Shubham, पिछले previous years का CET का पेपर सॉल्व किया है. बहुत गंदे क्वेश्चंस होते हैं. They are so calculative. Normally you would be like कि 2 सेट तो पूरा छोड़ दोगे because you'll be like कि कौन कर रहा है इतना. ठीक है? So get used to it. This is the new life. So what is the answer? 100 and 104 था ना? The average of 100 and 104 is 102. Right? Straightforward question. Oh, okay. Another shop C sold 33.33, 33 1 by 3 percentage, which is 1 by 3 in fraction, more pizzas on Monday than shop A on Monday. So what I will do is I will go right now. पूरा पढ़ने के बाद नहीं जाऊंगा because I'll forget it. So I will go on Monday. I will see कि shop A कितना pizzas sell करता है. Let's go there. So shop A on Monday sells 104 pizzas. Sorry, 150 pizzas. Monday का A का pizza 150, right? So I have that number now. So this is 150. A का Monday का pizza. So what about shop C? Same thing, Monday pizza. How many pizzas does shop C sell? 1/3 more. So what is 1/3 of 150? 50. 50 ज़्यादा, so it will end up in 200. ठीक है? The same shop C sold 25% more burgers on Monday than shop B on Sunday. So इधर Sunday Monday है 2 दिन का. But there is one thing for surety. It's about burgers. Shop B का Sunday का burger ढूंढना है. Right? So I will go to shop B and shop B का Sunday का burger. So I will go to shop B Sunday and figure out the burger. Shop B, Sunday ka burger. How much is it? 100, right? So shop B, Sunday ka burger. So shop B, Sunday ka burger. So this is 100. It says it increases by 25%. 25% का मतलब क्या होता है? 1/4. That's what fraction is for 25%. So what is 1/4 of 100? 25. So it increased by 25. So it became 125. This is C ka Monday ka burger. So what was the total number of pizzas and burgers sold by shop C on Monday? मतलब इसको add करने का. So how much is it? Shubham, solve previous year papers first because those are the actual papers. So you will have a lot of idea as to what level of questions come, how many questions come, what is the level of difficulty, वगैरह सारा चीज. So previous year papers first. Once you are done solving them, so we solve 2 papers every day on an average. Then you move over to mocks. ठीक है? So here is the answer. Oh, there is one more. If a shop A sold every burger for 25 and every pizza for 50, what was the revenue generated by shop A on Sunday and Monday? ठीक है? So total burgers निकाल लेंगे. That will be into 25. Total pizzas निकाल लेंगे. That will be into 50. And then we need to add them. Right? But how many burgers and pizzas do we have for shop A? Shop A, total pizzas we have is 254. 104 plus 150, 254. ठीक है, ये number याद रखेंगे. And total number of burgers we have is 64 plus 180, which is going to be 244. Simple numbers, right? 244 and 254. Burger is less, 244. So burger is going to be 244 and this is going to be 254. Now question arises, how do you multiply a number by 25 quick? So जाते जाते एक shortcut और देख लेते. So this is what you do and this is how I do. Suppose if I am given a calculation like 1, 2, 3 into 25. ठीक है? So what I do is, मैं ये 123 लेता हूं. I pick this number 123 and I divide it by 4 and 4 only. So आपके दिमाग में, in your mind, this is what you will be doing. So when you divide 123 by 4, can I say it will go 3 times and then 0 times? Can I say it will go 30 times? What is the remainder? That remainder into 25 will give you the last 2 digits. So 123 into 25 is 3075. I will repeat. Suppose if I have to, let's say, multiply any number by 25, I will take that number and start dividing it by 4. Dimag mein. The quotient that I am going to get, I will write down the way I am supposed to get it. 25 divided by 4 6 times, 24, 14 आया, 3 times 12, left with 2, that is the remainder. That remainder into that 25 will give me the last 2 digits. So मेरे को एक बार में आंसर आता है, पर मेरे को 4 से डिवाइड करना आना चाहिए, और लानत है कि अगर मेरे को 4 से डिवाइड करने भी नहीं आता, right? So 244 into 25, what I will do is I'll divide it by 4 and I will write down the quotient as I'm supposed to get. 24 by 4 is 6, 4 by 4 is 1, remainder is 0. 0 into 25 will give me the last 2 digits. ये ऐसे कर लेते हैं. Second calculation that if I have to do, so I'm not going to treat this as 254 into 50. Today we saw, no, how do you multiply a number by 5? वो 0 लगा के आधा करने का. So because of this 50, I'm already going to put a 0. All I have to do is 254 into 5. What is 254 into 5? This is 2540 का आधा. 25 का आधा नहीं पता मेरे को. 24 का half I know is 12. So since I took 24, तो एक बच गया. 140 का half is 70. So I will put in 1270. That's what 254 into 50 is going to give me, 12,700. Now I have to add it. 12,000 plus 6,000 is 18,000. 700 plus 100 is 800. So 18,800. देखो मैं मल्टीप्लाई नहीं कर रहा कभी भी, एज इन कभी भी नहीं, मेरे को करना पड़ा था. देयर वाज वन क्वेश्चन वेयर आई हैड टू फोर्सफुली डू इट. इट वाज सम कैलकुलेशन, राइट, समथिंग इनटू 61 करा था. आई थिंक इट वाज 244 इनटू 61. सो 244 इनटू 25 ये नहीं करूंगा मैं. आई विल यूज एन ऑल्टरनेट अप्रोच, समथिंग दैट अ लेजी पर्सन like I can do. Okay, so I believe we should stop here. Mixed graph, I'll give you an idea. You have a table and a pie chart. So you use the pie chart, assume the base, compare it with table. So this is known as mixed graph. Mixed का मतलब क्या है? दो चाहिए होते हैं. It may be a table and a bar graph and a pie chart. Okay. So I believe today's session was helpful for you guys. And of course, this is something you shouldn't be, learning at the end of the session. But the students who are our students, our BYJU'S MBA prep students, so they have been learning all of these methods for a long time. Okay, so thank you everyone. The session is over. Guys, you can shoot your queries, which I had asked a couple of hours ago. Okay. Swagat, press the bell icon. You will be notified a day before when the session is going to happen. Okay? Okay, so Varun had a query 2 hours, more than 2 hours, 15 minutes ago. That is getting very much nervous. Varun, don't be nervous. Your life doesn't depend on it. This is not the only exam that you have to clear. And please understand, if I am scared of dark, okay, and I have to, if I'm going to earn a lot of money by doing some work which involves working in the dark मतलब ऐसे नहीं अंधेरे में अंधा होके, नहीं, less of light is there. Suppose I want to be a miner, okay, then the hurdle over here is my fear of darkness, और उसके beyond क्या है? A lot of money or something that I love about, that's my passion, right? So use common sense. That fear is useless. So if you are going to be scared of the exam temperament that you will be in during the exam is going to pull you down. The score is going to be much less than what you can actually score. And I know you will say that, sir, मेरे को पता है, I know this. If you know this, why don't you talk to yourself? Talk to yourself like, Varun, देख, अगर डरेगा तो खराब मार्क्स आएंगे, और मार्क्स चाहिए अच्छे, तो कॉमन सेंस लगा. डरने से मार्क्स कम आ रहे हैं, नहीं डर रहा है तो मार्क्स ज्यादा आ रहे हैं. सो हाउ अबाउट लेट्स नॉट बी स्केर्ड ऑफ इट, राइट? सो इट्स ऑल अबाउट पर्सनालिटी, temperament. It's about how you are thinking. It has got nothing to do with, you're not going to a war whether you will come back alive or not. ठीक है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं होने वाला. It's just an exam. Go and write it. Don't feel pressured by your peer group, your siblings, your uncle, auntie, your parents. Don't be scared of it. You have a lot of more exams coming up this year, next year. Okay? Don't be scared about that. Stupid. Okay. Scoring 120 Kaushal, I think that is good. Improve your speed. You can improve your speed by using common sense, being a little lazy about the calculation, selecting the right questions, attempting a lot of mocks and previous year papers. That's all you can do. If you're thinking you will pick up now RC अब उठा के अब पूरा सीखोगे from the scratch, I don't believe it's going to help you. Actually RC पे ध्यान चला जाएगा, maybe your score will improve a bit, but the other sections which you are not improving, you're not practicing and revising, will pull you down. वो खराब हो जाएगा फिर. So जो strength है, keep it strong. जो weaknesses हैं, work a bit, just a bit. पूरा उधर concentration मत दे दो. ठीक है? You don't have a lot of days left. Shubham, no. it's not CET side. I haven't searched it. You can simply search CET previous year paper. MAH CET previous year paper आपको मिल जाएंगे, सारे years के मिल जाएंगे. Okay. सेंटर वालों की क्वेरी देख लो एक बार. अच्छा, सेंटर वालों की क्वेरी नीत. हाँ, सी if your center is very far का मतलब, for example, I live in Delhi and suppose my center is in let's say Chandigarh, so I will go there one day before if my center is a different city altogether. ठीक है. Now if my center is let's say Najafgarh, which is on the outskirts of Delhi but not so far कि उधर जाके रहूं one day before. So I will make sure that I leave at a certain time so that I reach there at least 1.5 hours before time. 1.5 hours कम से कम लेके चलो guys, because these people, they are very strict. आप लास्ट के 15 मिनट में एंटर कर रहे हो, गेट क्लोज हो गया, they will not let you enter. You beg, you cry, you fight. आप न्यूज चैनल्स वाले को बुला लो, नई एंट्री मिलेगी. So please be there before time. क्या होगा, थोड़ा पहले पहुंच के you will get bored, laziness, भूख लग रही होगी, so carry something to eat, have your mobile phone, talk to your friends, इधर उधर टाइम पास करो. 1 hour पहले ऐसे फॉर्मूले मत रटो. जो पाप हो गया, जो पुण्य हो गया एग्जाम से पहले, वो हो गया. डोंट एक्सपेक्ट दैट पहले जो याद करा फॉर्मूला दिखे, नहीं याद आएगा भाई. देयर आर सो मेनी थिंग्स टू रिमेंबर एंड रिकॉल. इफ यू आर एक्सपेक्टिंग लास्ट 1 hour बिफोर द एग्जाम यू विल गो थ्रू इट एंड यू विल रिकॉल एवरीथिंग. MBA एग्जाम्स ऐसे नहीं होते, बोर्ड एग्जाम्स ऐसे होते हैं, कॉलेज एग्जाम्स ऐसे होते हैं. बिल्कुल कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम्स, दे डू नॉट वर्क दिस वे. द सिलेबस इज वास्ट, देयर इज नथिंग लिमिटेड, ये चैप्टर वो चैप्टर, ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता भाई. ठीक है. So don't worry, you guys are going to do good, you guys are going to do well. Good luck everyone. So if there is going to be any session, please do press on the bell button, that icon, bell icon, right? Once you subscribe, please do like. Thank you everyone. Good night. हाँ स्वागत, go ahead, revise vocab. देखो vocab तो क्या कर सकते हो, लेकिन vocab में भी क्या होगा. Vocab में there are like thousands of words. If you have let's say selected 250 words, 250 words में what I think, ठीक है, I'm not like forcing कि यही होगा, but I think कि if I am the guy who is going to revise 250 words during the last 1 hour, जल्दी all I can do is I will remember कि ऐसा कुछ था last moment पे. It will become sometimes confusing कि this word was for this particular word only, synonym इसी का था कि antonym था, वो नहीं याद रहने वाला मेरे को. So whichever words you are going through, it should be more like revision. वो already पढ़ा हुआ हो, नया मत पढ़ना शुरू कर देना. ठीक है. And simple as this, people who are not good with English, their vocab is bad because they just learn the antonym and synonyms. They never use it in normal conversation. ठीक है. Unless and until you don't use it regularly in normal conversation, if you don't write it regularly in passages and short stories in your diary entries, आप कितने भी words याद कर लो, आप डिक्शनरी याद कर लो, आपको कुछ पता नहीं है. You would know the meaning of the word, right? पर उसका synonym क्या है, which all places you can use it, at which places that particular word means what, ये नहीं पता चलता है ना. Okay, चलो, bye. Thank you everyone. Take care and thank you for staying for so long. 2.5 hours is a lot. Thank you. Bye.